Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of, I can't remember, April 8th. Actually, I did remember. You start off here with this deep knowing card and this message in a bottle card. So I kind of feel like this is talking about a message that's coming from you, really. And here you go, right here. You have the Hermit. The Hermit is a card of deep introspection, deep knowing, and understanding. So I feel for a lot of you that you've kind of been in an introspective time where you've been looking for answers. This could be in any area of your life. And it looks to me like now you have, it's kind of like what's popping into my head here, Aquarius, is that you have, found some sort of recipe. It's almost like you've discovered a plan or a recipe for, success or whatever it is that you want. And so I feel that you are kind of feeling set free in a lot of ways, but I also do feel that, like I said, you have some pretty good answers is what this looks like to me. And again, if there's something that you know or that you feel like you know, I would say that you are correct. And I would move in those directions. Like, I wouldn't, don't hesitate, don't question what you do know, because you do know. And I feel like that's what those first two cards are kind of saying. You have the Hermit, the Page of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. Again, all these cards kind of really represent seeing things very clearly. Again, the Hermit, he's been through a dark night of the soul. He's done some soul searching. He's been looking for answers, and now he sees the light. And it's funny that, he has a star in his lantern, and you end with the star here, which, the star is your card, Aquarius. So, again, he has the star right here in his lantern. And the Page of Pentacles kind of represents studiousness, but he's excited by new opportunities, or he's excited by new directions. The Page of Pentacles, he's ready to, move towards new things, and he's also ready to learn about new things as well. And then the Queen of Swords, she sees clearly for the first time. She only has clouds halfway up her body, and it just represents the fact that she sees clearly for the first time. So I kind of feel like you feel there could be just a great deal of clarity, or you could feel like there is a new understanding for you this week, or that, maybe you have a better understanding of life or the direction that you're moving in here. And it feels really good. I feel this is, it's kind of like you don't feel overwhelmed to me finally. So maybe you're removing the overwhelm, or, that maybe there is just nothing that is causing overwhelm, which is great. And you could just be feeling very clear. On top of all that, by the way, you also have the Death card, which can represent a transformation. We will talk about that. You also have the Groundhog spirit here, and I'll show you that in a second. But the Groundhog also represents death, and I'll explain that, like I said, in a minute. But, the Death card, the sun is coming up between the two pillars that are on the moon, and it kind of says that you're leaving a moon period behind, and you're stepping into a sun period. The moon represents a lack of clarity, not being sure what direction to move in, and then the sun obviously is clarity. So there you go. With the Hermit, you have the Hangman. I think everybody's gaining new perspectives at this time, so, it just kind of like is what it is. I think that we're all being shown other ways of doing things. This could be through the examples in our lives. We could also be seeing things maybe after this eclipse, the one that's on the 8th in Aries. It's kind of like I see this almost as not really a mirror, but it's like, imagine if someone held up a book in front of your face and was like, this book contains all the things, all the things that you repeat in your life, and, all the, lessons that you've learned and all that other stuff, right? And so I kind of feel like it's almost like you are not really seeing a reflection. It's just like you're seeing what has been. And I feel like, but this is like a good thing. I don't think this is a bad thing. It's almost as if seeing this is going to be the thing that allows you to change. So again, I don't really see that as a bad thing. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is like a truth or a victory. We are going to see a lot of truths come out. It is Mercury retrograde. I mean, Mercury retrogrades always, can bring in like closure, clarity, people who want to give us closure, people who want to apologize, things like that. It is kind of funny because I do feel for some of you that if you were dealing with like an Earth sign, a Scorpio, or even another Aquarius, or someone who's born close to Aquarius, like a Pisces, then I would say that it could also be a Leo, your opposite sign. But I do feel like there could be like an apology, or someone who's coming in who's wanting to give you an apology with the Ace of Swords. But the Ace of Swords is a victory as well. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Justice card. A lot of justice at this time. We're in between also two eclipses. We just had a Libra eclipse on March 25th. We're going to have another Libra eclipse at the end of the year. At the end of the year, we have a Pisces eclipse and then a Libra eclipse. And again, I think that in between these two, like Libra eclipses, this is going to be exposing a lot of truths in our lives. It could just be exposing, a lot of things that are true for us, or whatever you want to call it, right? The truth. And so there could just be some truths that are being revealed to you. And I said that with the Ace of Swords as well, that there's could be some sort of truth. This would be a good thing. Whatever this truth is could allow for a change or a transformation or something like that. Next, in the area of the unexpected, again, you have this Groundhog Spirit says time to let go. You have this Bobcat Spirit says life is a mystery. The kind of medicine for the groundhog is death. Again, you have the death card here. The story of the groundhog is that it lives in a burrow, but that has multiple chambers, and so it moves from chamber to chamber to chamber, and it kind of simulates death and rebirth. It goes through these transformations by going from one chamber to the other, and so I feel for a lot of you that the death card could say, I don't think this is, some sort of unexpected thing. I actually don't think there is anything unexpected coming in for you here, Aquarius. I think it's pretty clear. But what I would say is that I feel that you could just be undergoing some sort of transformation. It's like you're going from one stage of life to another, or you're just expanding in some way. Again, we see that right here with the death card. Death is a major transformation or a big change, so I do feel like there is some sort of major transformation or change with the death card, probably having to do with your beliefs as well. This right here, this guy, he kind of looks like the Hierophant, but he's meant to be like a pope, and he can represent your beliefs or your belief systems, and the death card can definitely come into our lives and change our belief systems, whatever that means for you. But there's this child right here, and that child is holding up flowers to the Death Rider, and the death card has been coming up quite a bit, and we are clearly in a time of great change. And I think we should all be excited about that. Child is excited about the change, He's the child is the only one that's not afraid of the Death Rider on the card. And so I feel for a lot of you that there are changes, but these are changes you should be excited about. You do have the Two of Cups here. Again, if you do want love, I do feel that there could be new love coming in for you. For some of you, I do feel just, Eight of Pentacles to the Three of Pentacles would tell me that you're more focused on work at this time, or you could be more focused on your finances, but it could also say that if you are attracting a person, that you're attracting a person who wants to put in the work. I do like those two for love, so there definitely could be love here. Two of Cups is a person who's meant to be different than your usual type, so I do feel this could be a different type of person that's coming in for you. You have the Five of Wands here. Five of Wands can represent conflict and competition. So, and by the way, there's been a lot of Five of Wands type energy this week as well. Kind of makes sense to me, and it is what it is. But what I would say here with this card is that I would be learning from competition. I don't think it, I always say that I don't think we should be comparing ourselves to other people, but I think it's perfectly fine to learn from your competition. It's perfectly fine to go see how your competition does things in life and see what you're not doing and try to make the changes. Again, there's a big difference between those two things. So I think it's a good time. It would be a good time for you to learn from your competition with the Five of Wands. I also feel that for a lot of you, again, personally, I like the Five of Wands. These people, again, are learning. And yeah, there could be some sort of conflict or competition. But the Five of Wands says that you could be getting a reward for, some sort of conflict or competition that you're dealing with. So again, it's really not that big of a deal. With the Two of Cups, you have the World here. Yeah, definitely, some of you could be dealing with a long-distance situation. So again, if you want love, could be long distance. The World is also an accomplishment, and I do see you accomplishing a lot in work here, Aquarius. Again, you have the Eight of Pentacles and that Three of Pentacles. Really good for work, business, anything you do for getting attention as well. Again, you have the Star. You are the Star card right here. And the Star is showing up in the good stuff, which puts it in even a stronger position. And whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength in a reading. So this is a very powerful position for you here, Aquarius, that Star card. And I feel for a lot of you that, you could be kind of standing out more or getting more attention for the work that you do. With the Death card, you have the Eight of Swords. Like I said, I feel that it's almost like there's this book that's being held up in front of you. Like I said, it's not a mirror, That's not how I see it in my head. And, I would just say that if there are any stories about your life that you could change, I think now is an amazing time for everyone to change their story in any way possible. If there's something you don't want to repeat, a part of your story that you want to change, something different, a different way of life that you want to live, whatever it is, I would just do it with this energy, because I feel like you will find a lot of success in kind of living your life in a different way. And that's what I would do here, or by just changing your story. And, again, we have to do something different. People always ask me, how do you change your story? And I always say, I would start, number one, start small. Number two, look for something in your life that keeps repeating. And what is one tiny little change you can make right now to change that story, right? And it could be just a tiny little thing. I think the problem is, people think too big. They think like, oh, I have to, overcome this issue today when it's like a big, huge issue. I always say like, take those tiny bite-sized pieces. It literally changed my life doing that. So, that's what I would do here. And it's free. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, of course, can represent independence and financial independence. I do feel that a lot of you are focused on your finances, and I do feel like you are focused on creating financial independence, which I do feel like you will be doing. So there you go. That looks really good to me. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this Ears Wide Open card and the Sacred Reverence card. I always think that it's a good time during Mercury retrogrades to be more in that listening position, to listen more. So anything you can do to listen more would be a good idea. That Sacred Reverence card is, I think we all need to protect our heart in the sense that we need to do more heart-based things at this time. Like whatever your heart is telling you to do. Could be a hobby, could be having fun, could be whatever. I would do that. The problem is with the astrology is like we have this, I think the universe itself is telling people to have more fun, do more things that you enjoy in your life, bring more happiness and joy into the world. But then there's like part of the astrology that I think is like, oh no, you have to, get your ass moving and work and do, and you can only do logical things and all this other stuff. So it's like there's kind of like this conflicting energy. But I really feel that the secret is, work hard on your heart. That's what I would be doing, and that is literally what I do. So there you go. You have the Eight of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. Like I said, I feel you are definitely improving your finances, or you're working hard to improve your finances this week. I actually feel that you will be seeing a result. Again, the Eight of Pentacles, he's kind of head down. He's not really looking up, right? He's just looking at that pentacle that he's working on, and he hasn't even recognized like how far he has come. He hasn't even recognized how much work he has done. And I'm getting something about that. I'm not getting any traditional Eight of Pentacles stuff here. I'm just getting that you might be taking a moment to look up from your desk, maybe not literally, but kind of more figuratively, and you might be taking a moment to kind of look up and see how far you've come or what you've accomplished or, whatever the case may be, and I definitely see that here. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. Air signs always get the Seven of Pentacles with me. It's my card that says, is the juice worth the squeeze? I think that a lot of you, this book that's being held up in your face, you could be seeing a lot of the things that aren't worth it. A lot of things where, you put energy into it and you don't get anything back. And the Seven of Pentacles is about making a change or just deciding that there could be growth somewhere else in your life. You have the Queen of Pentacles. Again, major focus this week on your resources. I do see that. I see you being very focused on being financially independent, coming up with more ways to be financially independent as well. Again, you could be discovering like new ways to make money, better ways to make money. And I would embrace all of that if I were you, Aquarius, because it just seems like it's a good time for you to, make more money or improve your finances or, whatever the case may be. So let's see. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is kind of equal give and take, but it is a card of planting seeds in a new direction. So Seven of Pentacles, again, change in direction. Six of Pentacles, he is maybe investing in a new direction. And by investing, I mean, that could be your energy. It could be money, but, it could be your energy or your effort or your time that you're giving to something new. And I feel that you're going to see quick results. I mean, Eight of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, he's being celebrated for his results. And I kind of feel that this reading, in a lot of ways, like what this reading boils down to is that you are receiving the recognition you deserve for the work that you've done. And that's kind of what that Eight of Pentacles, like finally seeing the work that he has done. And I think that's what's going on here. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Cups. Yeah, blessing in disguise kind of energy is what I'm getting here. Not really blessing in disguise, but more like fortune after difficulty. Good things coming in after a difficult period of time. Or, again, it doesn't even have to be difficult. It could just say that you've been working really hard towards a result, and now you're getting a result. Also, if you want love, this reading looks really good. Again, World, Two of Cups, down to the Ten of Cups, to the Star. This could say that you're attracting a really solid connection. Ten of Cups is like someone who wants to have a family or, who's serious about a relationship, basically. And again, I love the Eight of Pentacles. Like, let's just pretend that this was a love reading. I love the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles in love readings because, again, it really represents a person who wants to put in the work. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Star. Amazing. Again, showing up as yourself twice here. This really puts you in a position of power and strength. Whenever a card repeats itself, it's pretty much the universe saying I meant what I said. So, I feel that there is a lot of positive star energy here. It is also a retrograde, and as I always say, like during retrogrades with the Star card, the Star could also just say, that it's a good time for nurturing yourself, caring for yourself, resting, relaxing, recovering. The star kind of represents hope, faith, renewal. So renewing your energy is also a good thing to do. And again, that fits in very well with the astrology. Next, you have this Four of Cups, and you have this Balancing Act card. I do feel that for some of you that maybe love has been a balancing act, or, maybe you feel like you're always having to like try to fit into a connection or something like that. And I feel like for once you could be discovering a connection where it's like there's no necessarily trying. Like, I think, of course, we have to put the work into relationships. I think we have to make sure we keep the romance alive, right? Because after a while, it's, easy to fall out of love with a person, right? So, that's what I'll say there. But, what I would say is I kind of feel like you could be attracting a person where it just more fits. So maybe there's less, I'm not saying there's like less effort, as in you're not going to be putting effort into this situation, but I just feel like it's maybe a nicer flow to it, something where there's much more balance with this Balancing Act card. Same thing with work as well. So, with the Three of Pentacles here, this could, sometimes I look at the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles when they come up together as an energy of, what I call the natural. It just says that for those of you looking for a job or a business, or something to work on, could even be personal, like your health, it says that you could be discovering something that just comes naturally. Again, he's done a really good job. He's being celebrated for what he's done, but he's also being celebrated because, he's gone above and beyond. This is a fire triangle, and right down here is a water triangle, and that water triangle is, number one, kind of him going above and beyond. He's done something a little bit extra to make this a success, whatever he's worked on here. And on top of that, it also says that, it's also kind of like his little extra flair, his extra, whatever you want to call it, his extra juice. And I probably shouldn't say that on YouTube, but, he's added something extra to this situation. Let's put it that way. You have the Eight of Wands here. Eight of Wands is quick success. Again, I feel like if you're attracting a person, I think that there's a much better flow. I actually don't necessarily see this moving too quickly, and especially if it's someone from a distance, it could be taking its time. But I just feel that the Eight of Wands is saying there's a nicer energetic flow here. Of course, nothing is perfect, so there's definitely something to think about. But I think this is pretty darn close. It looks good to me if you want love. I also feel like there could be communication here, so this could just represent communication and the connection. For those of you in work or business, again, we see a lot of success in work or business. You have this Star card, and I do feel like there is, this could be you standing out. So you yourself could be getting a lot of attention with the Star card. The Star card is Aquarius, and it's just a card of, basically says you're coming up in a strong position. So let's see. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Death card. Death, again, is a transformation. We see it three times, really, with that, that groundhog spirit. So I feel for a lot of you, you are kind of graduating to the next stage of life, or you're stepping into the next stage. Let's say that. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is kind of a never-ending nightmare. It's like going to bed, having a nightmare, waking up, being stuck in a nightmare. So I do feel like some of you need to escape the nightmare here with the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is also a card of worrying, but it's coming up in the area of the good stuff. So like I said, I do feel that you could be overcoming worry or overwhelm, or, worried that things won't work out in your life, or whatever, too much worry about the future. Again, I think for Aquarius, the challenge is going to be worrying too much about the future, that like over the next 20 years with Pluto in your sign. And I think that, what you need to do is like be present. I think the Power Now, that book by Eckhart Tolle, would be a great book. That should be your Bible for the next 20 years, right? And, I think that it's impossible, by the way, unless you are Eckhart Tolle. As I always say, I think it's impossible to be perfectly present 100% of the time. But, I think it would be a good exercise just saying, what can I do right now? Like, instead of worrying about these things that could happen, what can I do right now to make a difference? With the Star, you have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands, a card of success, achievements, and being a star, by the way. You have the Star twice with that Six of Wands. That could say that you're getting a lot of attention, standing out, all that other stuff. So love it. You have this Vine card. It says, seek out information that will help you. I preach about digging for gold constantly. It's the only thing that we will be able to do moving forward is solve our own problems and also, find answers. So, people who put in the work to research solutions to their problems are going to be successful. You have this Parrot that says someone will gossip about you and all your secrets. I don't know. I've never seen so much stuff about gossip and blah, blah, blah over the past, since this past year. So I would just say, ignore it. If someone's talking about you, who cares? You have this success card. I definitely feel like there is a lot of success coming in for you. Star, definitely a lot of success. You have this moon. It says changes in your life. We see major changes coming up in this reading. You have this knot card. It says unsuccessful plans. I think like you need to let go of a plan that was unsuccessful. I think that's what that whole book being held in your face message was, Aquarius. It's like really saying, the universe is saying like, look, this just doesn't work. Or, you keep repeating this certain cycle or whatever the case may be. And we all do it. So, it's not a criticism. You have this dark man. It says dealings with relationships with a dark man or with dark complexion or hair. And you have this wedge card. This comes up for everybody. You cannot make this up. It says someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. I tell everyone at this time, be super careful if you're getting into a relationship with a new person and like their past person comes back, or like if like some random person messages you on social media or something like that, it could be a lie. It could not be the truth. So I would be very careful of that type of stuff with, especially right now. It comes up for everyone. It's crazy. It's crazy to me that this comes up so much. Like I don't even understand it, but whatever. I would just be careful of jealous people or, whatever, especially if you're meeting a new person. It could just be a person who's jealous or is trying to ruin the situation or whatever. So there you go, Aquarius. Looks really interesting. Looks really good. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.